Hi, lovely booktubers. I'm Debs. Welcome or welcome back to my channel, Raina Read Stuff. I'm in the book shack. It is August the 28th. Pretty sure it's Wednesday. August finishes on Saturday. And I'm pretty much all trashed out. So, I thought I'd have a look and a discuss about my September reading and plans thereof. If I said that I wasn't going to take part in any reading events in September, do you think anyone would believe me? Probably not. I don't believe me. So, Garb August, organised by Criminally, in its third incantation, and of which I was very proud to be a co-host this year, is over. Mine's over anyway. Like I say, I'm trashed out. Summer events like the Big Books of Summer, the Wrath of the Summer of Trek, and the Summer of Sport are almost over. So what am I going to do in September? Well, to start with, there are still 2 year-long events that I am taking part in. Historathon, again, very proud to be a co-host. This was set up by Vin at Revenant Reads, and basically we read history all year, and it's brilliant. And then also 24 in 24, the Banned Books Challenge that was set up by the lovely MJ at Reading This Life, that I will still be taking part in. But as far as I'm aware, there are no seasonal events taking place in autumn/winter. Um, so I'm going to use September as a chance to catch up, mainly. There are events I will be taking part in, but I will be taking part in them as they fit in with my reading plans. And some of these are favourites of mine. And there's a new one as well that I'm looking forward to. So I will put all the details down below. One is called Strayer September, and this is Strayer September 2. I did take part last year. It's organised by Gunpowder Fiction and Plot, and the idea is that you read Australian authors. He has got a load of prompts this year, but the main thing is to read a book by an Australian author. Then we have Shaketember, which also a favourite of mine, and that's run by Kelly at Books I'm Not Reading, and Jason at Old Blues Chapter and Verse, and Nicole at A Day of Small Things. And I always love that. They have suggestions, each of them, as to what Shakespeare plays they're going to read this year. I'm not quite sure what I'll be reading yet, but I will definitely be dipping my toe into Shaketember because I really enjoy it. Shorty September is organised by Shana and Bert at Past Story Time and Heather at Too Many Heathers. And I absolutely loved this last year. It was my first go at it. As the title suggests, it's about reading short books. And I have several of those that will fit in. Last year I did do all the prompts. I'm not sure I'll be doing all the prompts this year because rather than fit my books to the reading events in September, I'm fitting my reading events to the books I plan on reading. The last one is a new one, which I think is very interesting, and I have an interest in, and so I want to take part. And that is Framed in September, and it's about art. It's about reading books about art and experiencing art, and also creating, should you wish to. There's several co-hosts, including Elisabeth at Books and Books and Greg at Another Bibliophile Reads. So, having started with the would anybody believe me if I said I was going to not do any book events, I'm planning on taking part in 1, 2, 3, 4 of those, and then there is a group read of a banned book, and it's been set up by the read along has been set up by MJ. At the moment, there are a fair few people in the book group, and this is bear with me. Can't remember what the book's called. Can't remember what the author is. I shall find it. Oh, it's disappeared. Right, here it is. A Court of Thorn and Roses by Sarah J Maas. I didn't know that, really. No, I didn't. I'd forgotten. The reason we're reading this book is because it's been banned. In fact, a great chunk of Sarah J Maas's books have been banned statewide, and I believe the state is, I want to say Iowa. Bear with me, I'll check. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to check, because otherwise you'll be sitting waiting for me to check. So I am looking forward to that very much, and that will tie in with the 24 banned books challenge. I need to do a tally up, actually, because I'm not sure how many I've done. But the reason I'm only going to be dipping my toe into these fabulous events is because they have to tie in with what I want to read myself. And in September, I want to do a catch-up. I've got quite bowled away. Since about May, I think, I've got quite bowled away by the reading events. And August particularly was full on. So far this month, I have read 46 books. And they weren't all 50 pages. Some of them were 400-page odds. But that was to get all the Garb. I'm obsessed with the Garb August bingo card. So September, I think I need to take it easy. But the other thing is, there's an event also by Criminoli that started on November the 6th last year. It wasn't the first time it had been run, but it was the Read What You Own challenge. And I pledged to read 100 books that I owned before I bought any more. It took me until the middle of February, and it nearly killed me, because immediately after Christmas, when the sales are on and when people do their roundups of the year and say the best books they've read, I wanted to buy them and read them, and I couldn't because I hadn't finished. So when I did finish, I had this, what I thought was an inspirational idea. I would write down all of the physical books that I brought into the household. So I didn't necessarily have to purchase them. Any physical book that came into the house had to be written down. And then I've been marking off the ones that I've read and the difference in numbers between the ones I've bought or the ones I've acquired and the ones I've read is going to be the number of books I have to read for the Read What You Own challenge. Sounds good, doesn't it? I thought it was going to be a way of making me calm down on the physical book buying. Hasn't worked quite like that. So, in the back of this, here are the books that I have bought. And these are only the physical ones. Don't get me started on ebooks. But they don't count because they're not glaring at me from a shelf. So, where I've put a little gold dot, those are the ones I've read. To date, since the middle of February, and we were only at the end of August, I have purchased 168 physical books. Actually, I'm lying because I ordered 4 more today. Of those, I have now read 55, which means if I add on the extra 4, there's 117 books to read for the Read What You Own challenge. Now, the idea of this was to make my challenge for the Read What You Own shorter, not longer, and therefore I have to read some of the books that I've bought before the Read What You Own challenge. My aim is still going to be that the Read What You Own challenge is completed by the end of December, beginning of January. Now, luckily, a number of these books fit into a number of these categories. So I will be concentrating on those. The categories for the book events. Some don't. But all of these books I bought because I wanted to read them, and then I get swept down a reading event rabbit hole and don't read the ones that I've bought. So you have to rectify that in September. So those are my plans for September. We're going to do the group read of the Sarah J Maas book, and then I am going to concentrate on knocking books off this list because very specifically, the Read What You Own challenge covers everything in the book shack, everything in the house. But this is purely the books I bought this year, the physical books I bought this year. Because I was trying to control myself, and as you can see, I've failed. I've failed miserably, unless I do something about it now. So, there's my reading plans for September. I'm starting my reading plans for September now because I'm a big cheat and I wish to give myself as much time as possible. And I'll see how we go. There are a few in there actually that will fit in with things like Occult Detective October if it runs again, and also Non-Fiction November. So I've got a couple of chances to get the list of books down. We'll see how it works out. Thank you for stopping by. It's always lovely to see you. I'm very grateful. And a special hello to everybody. Hello to the new subscribers, of which there's been a few this week, which is lovely. Welcome, have a look around. Basically, I'm just a mad aging reader sitting in a shed in her back garden surrounded by books. But thank you everyone for popping by and have a lovely week. I will speak to you soon. Bye for now.